Greetings. I'm in Richmond, Virginia tonight, and I wanted to say howdy and give you a little bit of a brief update on why I'm in Richmond and why my title says not really chillin' or something like that, not so chillin', because I'm in an Airbnb where they rent 3 bedrooms and they have kind of like 2 living rooms downstairs in the kitchen, and the central air apparently went out as I was driving down from Northern Virginia today. So they put window units in, and it is keeping the room comfortable. But if I go out of the room and I've got the bathroom window open, because it was actually cooler outside than in the bathroom when I got here. But now I've opened the door to the bathroom to let some of the cold air in there because I want to take a shower or a bath. They have a jetted tub and a stand-up shower. And you know, I like hot tubs, even though jetted tubs aren't quite the same. They don't stay hot like hot tubs do, but it might be good and relaxing before I go to bed. I've only driven about maybe 2.5 hours today, which was kind of fortunate because I got to go to the senior center with Mom, Dad, and my sister today. She surprised us. She called about an hour before we go in and said she had to be at a school up in that general area. So she was available to come by. So they were able to, and I didn't know I was going to be there. I thought I was going to be leaving early in the morning. I'll get right back to that. But anyway, they were able to get me and my sister in, even though we didn't have call ahead reservations. They had lasagna, tossed salad, an orange, and a lemon bar square. So I was kind of already over my carbs for the day by the time I finished. I gave my sister and Mom, Dad the salad, and my sister the orange and the milk. She got to take a lot of stuff home because they give you milk to drink there. And Dad, Mom, or I don't really drink it, so we all sent it with my sister drank hers, I think, but she got 3 more. They're just the little things like they give out at school. You know, government mandated food pyramid. And if the government's subsidizing it, places have to serve it that way. And they want to make sure the seniors eat according to the government regulations. But this isn't my health channel, so I better kind of keep moving. But anyway, I was able to be there because I did not leave at the crack of dawn to make sure I got down to Wilmington this evening. Original plans were to stay with a friend down there that I had visited several months ago. And she's a little bit older than my parents. But I called her yesterday. You know, I talked to her and said I was coming to this house and I was hoping to come visit her the night before. She was okay with that. Yesterday she was still okay with me coming, but she had some reservations because she'd been diagnosed with a rather serious health ailment between my visit and now, and is going through some tests to confirm, you know, the diagnosis, and then she needs to get some second opinions and all, and she doesn't drive anymore, so her daughters are having to kind of take care, or Uber or something. But I told her well, I didn't say all this, but out of respect, I'm thinking, well, I'm not going to come down and burden you or impose, even though you're saying I can come. But that's just being nice, I thought. So I told her I wouldn't come. I would just visit with her I think it's 2 weeks I'm going to be about 15 minutes away from her. And I'll also be going to the beach a lot, and she doesn't get out in the sun a whole lot, so I don't think I'll take her with me, even though she did go when I visited her. And I kind of felt bad because she was just sitting there, but turned out she had the same kind of a career background as the people we were sitting beside, so she was able to talk to that lady while I got in the ocean a couple of times. But this way I'll be able to go from the house sit and go maybe to the ocean we went, or the beach we went to, or maybe to another one on the other side of the river where I'll be staying, which is a little further south. I think it'll actually be one of the closest beaches in North Carolina to Myrtle Beach in South Carolina, which is kind of like right at the top of South Carolina. But anyway, I didn't want to impose on her, and after I hung up and, you know, was talking to Mom and Dad, I realized I could split the trip and not have to go like 8 hours of driving in one day. So I found this Airbnb on Airbnb. Yeah, that's where you find them. And it was very reasonable, actually less than $50 with the taxes and everything. I like to stay at the ones that don't charge humongous cleaning fees. You know, I figure if they advertise for 25 bucks and then they throw a $25 or $30 cleaning fee on, That's just ridiculous. This one, I don't even know if it had a cleaning fee. If it did, it was like $5, which is acceptable. But anyway, I looked at other smaller cities along the route, and they were all more expensive with high cleaning fees. So I thought, well, another option was to stay at a friend in Fredericksburg, but when I called her today to tell her I wasn't picking up some of the frozen food I had stored in her freezer, because I didn't know if I'd have access to a freezer here or not. As it turns out, I do. But you know, when you put it in something like a common freezer, you may forget it. Somebody else may use it. You never know. I would probably forget it tomorrow, so I just asked her if I could leave it there. Come to find out, she had some in-laws coming in because her somebody's aunt passed away, and they were coming to stay with her, so they'd be in the bed that I was using as a backup plan. So I'm glad I got this. It's all working out great, like it's supposed to. I only had to drive a couple hours today, and I think GPS says it's about 4 hours tomorrow, which for me will probably be 5 or 6, because I always take longer than the GPS says. I think because I stop and I fill up my jug, and I'm filling up my glass several times, because I have ice in the glass but not in the drink, so I pour it in here, and you know, it keeps it cold, and I can drink this while I'm driving. I can't drink out of a great big jug. But when you can fill up the great big jug for like 80 cents, that's another reason I'm drinking Diet Mountain Dew, which Levi reminded me I shouldn't be drinking when I ran into him at Sheetz in Warrenton. But it was good to see him. I think I mentioned that in the last video. I didn't get to see my new lifeguard friend when I stopped at the Sterling LA Fitness yesterday. I haven't had a lot of access to a hot tub, so that may be another reason I'm going to use this jetted tub. Even though they don't stay as warm as a hot tub, they stay warm long enough, you know, for it to be comfortable. I had one at the house in Ashburn, but I also had access to 2 or 3 LA Fitnesses within about 5 miles. So I'm going to check out a place there in North Carolina, and I tried to use this old phone and it cut off several times. So if I repeat myself, forgive me. I'm thinking it's on the video that says I ran out of storage, so I'm using my regular phone, which is, I don't know if I've connected this to the internet or not. They got pretty good internet here. The only challenge I found here, other than the air being out, is that they only have one parking spot behind the house, and one of the other tenants was in it when I came, but I just went to get my razor, my gym bag, which had the razor in it, out of the car, and I got to park about half a block down the street because you can only park for an hour here in front of the house. But you can park overnight, but it has to be moved by 7 a.m., which I guess you have to 8 a.m. because you can park for an hour. But I'm not willing to risk a ticket, so I parked it in a spot that didn't have a sign. It's in front of another apartment building, which is probably VCU students. They're walking all around, so I don't think it's a bad area, but it's still downtown Richmond. Anyway, I'm about to get ready for bed, so I'll wrap this up. I just want to say hello. Everything's going good. I had a nice sub for dinner tonight. Not quite as good as the one in Fort Worth. It's odd that you can get a great a Philly cheesesteak in Fort Worth, and even closer to Philly here, it's average. You know, not too bad, but not as good as the ones I can get in Fort Worth. Of course, it still has the bread, so yes, I'm over my carb limit, but I will be down by the end of my house sit, and then I'm heading to Texas with a stay in Arkansas and then back home. So I will be kind of on the road for about a month this time, and then I'll get on the road again to go to the cruise ship. But that should be a very fun, and you know, I'm looking forward to those buffets because then I can pick all meat and maybe a little bit of pasta or fruit or something, a little bit of carb, but not a whole lot. I'm going to concentrate on the bacon and eggs, ham, roast, steak, chicken, whatever they have, carving stations. I think I'll be able to eat very much on point on the cruise. You can even have a little rum on this diet, or whiskey, any of the low-carb alcohol, so I might squeeze one of those in. But I am not getting the all-you-can-drink alcohol, no. All I can drink is like 1 or 2, and then I'd be falling overboard. So I don't have to pay for a package. If I want one, I'll just get one. And I won't be able to get all the sugary stuff. but maybe on the rocks, or maybe splurge one day and have a real like cocktail. But we'll see. I'll keep you updated. Of course, I won't be able to broadcast from the cruise, but I will be able to film. Then I'll upload them all either on the train on the way back or at the Airbnb we're staying in Fort Lauderdale the night we return. We'll probably be washing laundry if I have any clothes left. I mean, I have a few left, but I bought a lot at the secondhand store just planning to give them away as I go. So, number one, you don't have to wash them, and number two, you don't have to bring them home. Number three, you help somebody else who's less fortunate. So that's my plan. We'll see how many I bring back. I definitely have to have a couple for the train ride home, but I don't want to do a lot of laundry when I get home. So we'll see, because I have another house in about 2 or 3 days after the cruise, or after we get back up here. And that's kind of between here and Fredericksburg. It's maybe an hour and a half south of my parents' house, which this is about 2 or 2.5 hours south. So about an hour north of here, and a little bit east, a little bit closer to the bay. And my battery is running out. So y'all have a great night. Love you. God bless. Subscribe down here if you haven't already. Put a comment down below. Let me know you're watching. And I'll be fine with no central air. Have a great night. Bye-bye.